Hello everyone, I'm Cynthia Jorgensen. I'm the instructor for this course, Drafting 58, Solid Modeling with SOLIDWORKS. This demonstration will help you to complete the Module 4-1A assignment. I will be showing you a similar model that you can practice along with me in this video. Here's what the finished model for this demo will look like. The first step to beginning any new assignment is to open the correct template. In this case, we see that the instructions say to use the millimeter template. Once that template is open, you need to save it as the assignment file name in the Module 4-1 folder. The next thing we need to check for is the visibility settings. To do this, we go to the Heads Up toolbar and notice the eyeball icon. That's the one we'll be working with. It has a light background. You can change that to a dark background. However, what this does is it locks all of the options in the drop down, and then we can't change them. So you want to make sure that that has a light background by clicking in the area beside the eyeball. Then go to the drop down, and you want to make sure that you have selected the View Origins, View Sketch Dimensions, View Sketch Relations, and View Sketches. To select these, you simply left click on the icon. That will turn it off. Left click again, and it turns it back on again. The next step is to open a sketch. The instructions tell us to open the sketch on the front plane. So we can left click on the name front plane. Then we can left click on the icon for open sketch. A lot of people find this really annoying to have the front plane there. So you can either move it or click in the drawing area and it disappears. Our next step is to begin drawing our sketch lines. So we go up to the Command Manager, select the Line tool, come down to the drawing area. Notice that the cursor has changed. It has a pencil with a line on it. Watch what happens as I move around. The cursor changes and gives us different information. In this case, you're seeing a horizontal line at the end or a vertical line. You're also seeing these blue dash lines. Those are called inference lines, and they help us to line up existing geometry, and I'll show you more about that in just a minute. Let's get close to the origin and see if there's another change. There it is. Now you have a glyph with a yellow background letting you know you're coincident with the origin. Once you are, you can left click to set that endpoint, draw the line to the right, and notice that I have a horizontal glyph there, except when I pull it away from the horizontal, it goes away and then comes back again. So you want to practice doing this snap to the horizontal and vertical, just like I'm doing. Let's go to about 10 and left click to set the line. Let's go up. Notice I am snapping to the vertical, going 10. Let's go over right, 10, and then down. Now watch my inference lines. See how that lines up? Once I get that line, then I know that I am exactly horizontal with that previous line that I made. Set the point, go over approximately 10, left click, go up. Notice the vertical glyph and the inference line. Left click, go over right, almost 10, there we go. Go down. Again, I have my inference line here, so I'm exactly in line with that previous horizontal line, and I'm exactly vertical, going over right again to 10, Then we go up to 30, over left, getting almost back around to the beginning. Notice I get the length of my line by waiting for that inference line to show up and then going vertically down till I hover over the origin and I can see the two circles there. That's concentric. All right, now our sketch is finished and I'm done with the line tool. I need to set up for my dimensions and go get the dimension tool, Smart Dimension tool. And we're going to start where we started making our lines. You set the dimension so the value is exactly in the middle, or as close to it as you can. The value is not 10, so I don't have to erase or backspace or do anything, just type in 10. The next dimension here, 10. Now notice that your value says 10 down here. That's a rounded number based on the precision that we set in the options. You want it to say exactly 10. So one of the common mistakes is that people don't check this value here. They see this is 10 and they go, oh, it's perfect, but it's not. So we do need to check and change it to 10. Next dimension should be 20. Kind of makes our next one going to be a little bit tight here. See if we can do it. Okay, change it to 10. Always rearranging your dimensions so that they look proper, they are lined up. Notice the arrowheads all in a single line here. All right, now we have one more. And now it's going to be 10 as well. And pulling it back into where it needs to be. So it looks very nice, very neat, very orderly. None of the values are crossing over other lines such as that. All the values are in relatively the middle. Now let's go to the side. We're going to do this dimension here. Again, it is 10. We want to make sure that that gets set correctly. Now notice when I set this dimension over here that this distance and this distance are very similar. They're very close. I could probably get a little bit closer on that one. So for the first level, away from the model edge, the distance of the extension line needs to be about the same. Now I'm going to set the next dimension for the overall length of that side. And notice with that one, I can go about half the distance as long as there's no interference with the dimension value and it can be clearly seen. Now, if the middle just happened to be like right here, then no, we're going to have to make sure that we put enough distance so that you can see the value. You must be able to read the values. So all of the dimension rules are available for you in the handout. Okay, now the next dimension here is for the overall one above, and that is 60. And we got an error with that, and this is a fairly common error, so I want to tell you how you fix it. First, you have to understand what's wrong And adding this dimension will make the sketch over-defined. Why? Because this line of dimensions measures up to 60, and then you have 60 up here. That's dual dimensioning, and it's not acceptable. So you want to make sure that you don't have any double dimensions. All right, so to fix that error, what we want to do is delete one of the dimensions from below. Very simple fix. Then we reset the dimension above. And yes, you do have to delete or cancel and reset the dimensions, otherwise it will be a different color and may give you an error in the future. So we want to make sure that those are the same. Now we have one more dimension here. There we go, and that should be 10. All right, so we're all done with our dimensioning. We can exit the dimension tool by using escape. Put in the center line that's required. Do the drop down center line. Great thing about SolidWorks is it has automatic snaps. So especially with the inference lines, you can tell exactly where you are. I want the midpoint, and if you hover over the line, the midpoint will show up and you can snap to it, putting your center line right there at the top at the midpoint, hitting escape to get out. And then there's one more thing that we need to do, and that is to remove the sketch relations that are not horizontal or vertical. In this case, you can see the vertical and the horizontal, so any that don't look like that, we're going to get rid of. Hover over the glyph and right click and delete. Or you can left click and use your delete on your keyboard. Either way doesn't matter, it does the same thing. So now that these are all gone, our sketch is complete, and all we need to do is exit the sketch. Click anywhere in the drawing area to clear the selection of the sketch. Notice that my origin is in the correct location. I have gray lines, not blue or black lines. Means that I am still in the drawing, but not in the sketch. All right, so that's the end of this presentation for practice doing Module 4-1A.